This is Rummy's Corner.
What is the path to greatness for Canelo Alvarez? Determining greatness is a tricky subject when it comes to evaluating active boxers. But even still, Canelo has already carved out quite the quality legacy for himself. Canelo has already accomplished a great deal in professional boxing during his journey towards a chance at boxing greatness. Canelo won his first major world championship on March 5, 2011, when he defeated Matthew Hatton by 12-round unanimous decision to win the vacant WBC junior middleweight title. Canelo was just 20 years old. That was a long time ago, and the boxing landscape looked completely different than it does today, with Sergio Martinez being the top dog at middleweight. At super middleweight, Andre Ward was in the midst of his sensational run in the Super 6 Boxing Classic. Bernard Hopkins was preparing to make boxing history in his rematch against Jean Pascal at 175. And Vladimir Klitschko was the reigning unified heavyweight world champion. Since that time, Canelo has won a major world championship at middleweight. He then won another title at junior middleweight. Next, he won a unified championship at middleweight. He snagged a major world title at light heavyweight, and then he became a unified champion at super middleweight. In his most recent bout that was televised on the still relatively new streaming app service known as DAZN last Saturday night at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, Canelo Alvarez defeated Billy Joe Saunders to expand his claim on the unified super middleweight world championship when he added the WBO to his existing collection that already included the WBA and WBC. So what is the path to greatness for Canelo Alvarez? The short answer is he already is great. Canelo has already been and is still on the proper path to that end. Not only has Canelo won major championships across 4 divisions, including unified championships in 3 out of 4, but he has also been a highly regarded pound-for-pound talent for more than 8 years, where today, many observers view him as the absolute greatest boxer in the world. In other words, if Canelo retired tomorrow and never boxed again, he would have already made a tremendous impact in the world of boxing. That is not to say that he's necessarily in the same league as guys like Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather Jr., the latter of whom, of course, soundly defeated Canelo way back in 2013, but that was then, and this is now. In boxing, it isn't always about suffering a loss. It's often more about how you bounce back from a loss. And in that sense, Canelo has bounced back wonderfully and achieved a great deal. In fact, Canelo bounced back as well as anyone at that time could have possibly imagined. Canelo holds a number of notable wins in his career against guys like Arislandi Lara, Miguel Cotto, Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and of course, he holds a victory against Gennady Golovkin. And with Triple G, he also had a draw against him, and both of those bouts left many observers believing Golovkin deserved the victory in both. So in that sense, Canelo is lacking a signature victory. But that in itself shouldn't be something that hampers his standing. It reminds me a bit of the situation with long-reigning heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko, who despite also lacking a signature victory, his long reign of dominance acts as a counterbalance. Vladimir was undoubtedly an all-time great heavyweight. Canelo himself is in the midst of a long and dominant reign, but Canelo also has a very solid body of work with some very good names on his ledger. Canelo is only 30 years old. He'll turn 31 in July. So he still has time to find that super fight that might provide him a chance to earn that signature victory. But until then, if and when such a challenge arises, Canelo can continue on a path that can potentially enhance his legacy. And it starts with competing for the undisputed super middleweight crown. Right now, Canelo holds 3 out of 4 major titles at 168. The only thing standing in Canelo's way from undisputed supremacy is IBF champion Caleb Plant. If this showdown for super middleweight supremacy comes to fruition between Canelo and Plant, with no shenanigans from the alphabet governing bodies, this in itself would represent a huge opportunity for Canelo. If Alvarez becomes undisputed at 168, he will have done something few boxers ever achieve in the modern age, holding all 4 belts at the same time. Becoming undisputed is a bit of a novelty in the sense that BS boxing politics from sanctioning bodies normally discourage this type of thing. Even guys like Mayweather and Pacquiao, with all of the titles they won across so many different weight classes, neither one of them was ever undisputed in any of those divisions. So if Canelo can become undisputed at 168, I think this definitely improves his standing and adds to his considerable achievements in boxing. Then you have 175, a division where Canelo already won a major world title. Assuming he is able to clean out 168 with undisputed distinction, if he could then ascend back up to 175 and unify there, or repeat the feat and become undisputed, that would be very significant, especially when combined with all the other achievements Canelo has obtained in his career. He amazingly still seems to be improving his craft and is arguably in the midst of his fighting prime right now. The future is potentially wide open, and even if Canelo never finds a worthy dance partner to provide him with the big chance for a career-defining signature victory, if he can continue facing and beating high-quality competition over the next 4 or 5 years, then it may not be long before Canelo starts becoming a bigger part of the discussion among the all-time greats in the rich history of professional boxing. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.